Welcome back to Ancient Herbal Wisdom, where we uncover the healing secrets that shaped history. I'm your host, and today we're journeying to the ancient Celtic lands of Britain and Ireland, circa 400 CE. Here, in the misty forests and rolling hills, we'll discover how Celtic healers developed one of history's most effective treatments for pigeon fever, using a humble white flower that still grows wild today. If you're new to our channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we're revealing ancient healing methods that could revolutionize how you care for your pigeons. And if these historical secrets are helping you, please give this video a thumbs up right now. It helps us reach more pigeon keepers who need this knowledge. Picture this scene. The year is 400 CE, and the Celtic tribes of ancient Britain have perfected a sophisticated understanding of natural medicine over centuries of careful observation. In a stone roundhouse nestled among ancient oak groves, we meet Brigid, a renowned Celtic healer known throughout the region for her extraordinary success in treating sick animals, especially the messenger pigeons that connected distant Celtic settlements. These weren't just any pigeons. Celtic communities relied heavily on these birds for communication across their vast territories, carrying news of tribal movements, trade opportunities, and urgent messages that could determine the survival of entire communities. When fever struck these vital messengers, it threatened the very communication network that held Celtic society together. The Celtic understanding of pigeon health was remarkably sophisticated for its time. Archaeological evidence from Celtic settlements across Britain and Ireland reveals that these communities maintained detailed knowledge of bird behavior, seasonal health patterns, and complex herbal medicine systems that had been developed over many generations of careful observation and refinement. Brigid possessed knowledge passed down through generations of Celtic healers, detailed understanding of plant medicine's seasonal timing and preparation methods that had been refined over hundreds of years. Her specialty was treating what we now recognize as avian fever, using a combination of careful observation and a remarkable white flower that bloomed in abundance throughout Celtic lands. What makes Brigid's story particularly fascinating is that she represented a tradition of Celtic healers who specialized specifically in animal medicine. These healers, known in Old Celtic as Lahiasuri Ain Methis, were highly respected members of Celtic society who devoted their lives to understanding the healing needs of the animals that were essential to Celtic survival and prosperity. Celtic communities understood that healthy animals meant healthy communities. Their horses carried warriors into battle, their cattle provided milk and meat, their dogs protected settlements, and their pigeons maintained vital communication networks. When these animals fell ill, it threatened the entire social structure, making animal healers like Brigid absolutely crucial to Celtic society. Before I reveal Brigid's secret treatment, let me ask you, have you ever noticed your pigeons showing signs of fever, maybe lethargy, reduced appetite, or sitting fluffed up for extended periods? Share your observations in the comments below, because your experiences help other viewers recognize these important warning signs. The flower that became Brigid's most powerful tool against pigeon fever was elderflower, specifically the creamy white blossoms of Sambucus nigra that bloomed throughout Celtic territories every late spring and early summer. What Brigid understood intuitively and what modern science has now confirmed is that elderflowers contain potent compounds that naturally reduce fever and boost immune system function. Recent phytochemical analysis reveals that elderflowers are rich in flavonoids, particularly rutin and quercetin, which have powerful anti-inflammatory and fever-reducing properties. They also contain natural compounds that stimulate immune response, helping birds fight off the underlying infections that cause fever symptoms. Additionally, elderflowers contain anthocyanins, phenolic acids, and essential oils that work synergistically to create a comprehensive healing effect. What makes Brigid's approach truly remarkable is that archaeological evidence from Celtic settlements shows they were cultivating and harvesting elderflower with sophisticated timing methods. Excavations at ancient Celtic sites have uncovered storage vessels containing elderflower residue, proving these healers were not just using the plant randomly, but following systematic preparation and storage protocols that maximize the plant's healing properties. Celtic botanical knowledge extended far beyond simple plant identification. These healers understood complex concepts like optimal harvesting times, lunar cycle influences on plant potency, soil conditions that produce the most medicinally active plants, and intricate preparation methods that extracted maximum therapeutic value from each herb they used. Brigid's elderflower knowledge came from a lineage of healers that could be traced back over 3 centuries. Each generation had added refinements to the preparation methods, timing protocols, and application techniques, creating a comprehensive system of fever treatment that was remarkably effective and safe when applied correctly. Celtic healers like Brigid developed what I call the 3-phase fever assessment method, a systematic approach to diagnosing and treating fever in pigeons that was remarkably advanced for its time. This method allowed them to identify fever problems at different stages and apply appropriate treatments accordingly. Phase 1 involves recognizing the earliest fever signs. Celtic healers observed that healthy pigeons maintain consistent activity patterns, feeding schedules, and social behaviors. The first sign of developing fever is subtle behavioral changes, slight reduction in activity, less interest in food, and tendency to seek warmer perching spots. Brigid taught her apprentices to watch for pigeons that seemed unusually quiet or spent more time with feathers slightly fluffed. The Celtic understanding of Phase 1 symptoms was incredibly detailed. They noted that fevering pigeons often changed their normal perching preferences, seeking spots that received more morning sunlight or offered better protection from cool breezes. They also observed subtle changes in social behavior, with fevering birds becoming less interested in normal flock activities and spending more time in solitary rest positions. At this stage, the pigeon will show clear signs of elevated body temperature, open beak breathing even in cool weather, seeking shade during normal activity times, and noticeably reduced appetite. The bird may also show changes in dropping consistency and frequency. Celtic healers understood that intervention at this phase was crucial for preventing progression to serious illness. During Phase 2, Celtic healers like Brigid also watched for specific changes in the pigeon's eyes, noting that fevering birds often showed slightly duller eye color and reduced alertness to environmental changes. They observed that the normal head movements and quick responses that characterized healthy pigeons became sluggish and delayed in birds developing fever. Phase 3 indicates advanced fever, where immediate treatment becomes essential. The pigeon will appear visibly unwell, sitting hunched with fully fluffed feathers, showing little interest in surroundings, potentially exhibiting rapid or labored breathing. At this stage, Celtic healers combined elderflower treatment with other supportive measures to ensure recovery. Celtic healers understood that Phase 3 fever represented a critical point where the bird's natural healing systems were becoming overwhelmed. They developed comprehensive treatment protocols that addressed not just the fever itself, but also the underlying infections, dehydration, and nutritional depletion that typically accompanied advanced fever symptoms. Now let me teach you Brigid's exact elderflower preparation method, carefully translated from ancient Celtic knowledge that was preserved through oral tradition for over 15 centuries. But first, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed fever symptoms in your pigeons? What was the first sign that made you realize something was wrong? Your experiences in the comments help create a community of knowledge that benefits everyone. Brigid's elderflower fever treatment began with precise timing of harvest. Celtic healers understood that elderflowers had to be collected at exactly the right moment to maximize their healing properties. The flowers must be harvested on a dry morning after dew has evaporated, but before the midday sun becomes too intense. Celtic texts describe this as when the sun stands 3 hands above the horizon, roughly between 9 and 11 a.m. in modern timing. The timing of elderflower harvest was linked to Celtic understanding of plant energy cycles. They believed that morning harvesting captured the plant's energy as it was actively drawing nutrients from soil to flowers, while afternoon harvesting occurred when the plant was focusing energy on seed development rather than flower potency. Modern phytochemistry has validated this understanding, showing that many flower compounds are indeed most concentrated during specific daily cycles. The flowers selected had to meet specific criteria that Brigid's methods detailed precisely. Only fully open flower heads with creamy white petals and strong, sweet fragrance were considered suitable. Flowers that showed any browning, had a musty smell, or came from trees growing in shaded areas were rejected as having insufficient active compounds. Celtic quality standards for elderflower were remarkably sophisticated. Brigid's traditions specified that flowers should be collected from trees that had been growing in the same location for at least 7 years, as younger trees were believed to produce flowers with less concentrated healing properties. They also preferred flowers from trees growing on hillsides facing southeast, believing that morning sun exposure enhanced the medicinal qualities. Here's Brigid's exact preparation method for elderflower fever treatment. Collect approximately 12 to 15 fresh elderflower heads, each about the size of an adult palm. Gently shake each flower head to remove any insects, but avoid washing them as this removes the beneficial pollen and reduces the concentration of active compounds. The collection process itself was considered crucial by Celtic healers. Flowers had to be removed from the tree using specific cutting techniques that didn't damage the remaining branches, ensuring continued flower production throughout the season. Celtic healers used specially crafted bronze or flint knives that were reserved exclusively for plant medicine preparation. Place the flower heads in a clean ceramic or glass vessel, Celtic healers used specially crafted pottery bowls that were reserved exclusively for medicine preparation. Never use metal containers as they can react with the plant compounds and reduce effectiveness. Pour exactly 2 cups of fresh spring water over the flowers, ensuring they are completely covered. Celtic pottery for medicine preparation was often decorated with specific symbols and patterns that were believed to enhance the healing properties of preparations made within them. While modern science doesn't support these beliefs, the careful attention to cleanliness and dedicated use of vessels for medicine preparation was a sophisticated approach to maintaining sterile conditions and preventing contamination. The water used in Celtic elderflower preparation had to meet strict quality standards. Spring water flowing over granite rocks was preferred as it was believed to have the purest energy and mineral content. Modern analysis shows that granite-filtered spring water does indeed have optimal mineral profiles for extracting plant compounds, validating the Celtic preference through scientific understanding. The preparation timing was crucial in Brigid's method. The mixture must steep for exactly 1 hour. No more, no less. Celtic healers tracked this timing using shadow sticks and other natural timekeeping methods. During this hour, the water extracts the fever-reducing compounds from the flowers while maintaining their potency. Celtic timekeeping for medicine preparation was remarkably precise, using combinations of sundials, water clocks, and carefully observed natural phenomena to ensure accurate timing. They understood that extraction times were critical. Too short and insufficient active compounds were released. Too long and some compounds would begin to degrade or create bitter, less palatable preparation. After 1 hour, strain the liquid through clean linen cloth, pressing the flower heads gently to extract as much liquid as possible. The resulting elderflower infusion should be pale golden in color with a delicate sweet floral aroma. This preparation maintains its effectiveness for up to 3 days when stored in a cool, dark location. The straining process used by Celtic healers involved multiple filtrations through progressively finer material. First straining removed larger plant particles, second straining through fine linen removed smaller debris, and final straining through specially prepared moss filters created a crystal-clear preparation that was both effective and palatable for sick birds. Storage methods for elderflower preparations reflected Celtic understanding of preservation techniques that modern science has validated. Cool, dark storage prevents degradation of light-sensitive compounds, while specific container materials prevent chemical reactions that could reduce effectiveness or create harmful byproducts. For early-stage fever symptoms, Brigid's protocol called for offering small amounts of the elderflower infusion as the pigeon's primary drinking water. Replace their normal water with the elderflower preparation, ensuring fresh preparation every 3 days. Most pigeons readily accept the mildly sweet taste, and the natural sugars in elderflower actually encourage drinking, which helps with hydration during fever. The palatability of elderflower preparations was an important consideration for Celtic healers. They understood that sick animals would often refuse bitter or unpleasant medicines, so they developed preparation methods that created effective treatments that were also appealing to the animals they were treating. The natural sweetness of elderflower made it particularly suitable for this purpose. For more advanced fever symptoms, Celtic healers used a more intensive application method. Using a clean cloth or soft brush, they would gently moisten the pigeon's beak and the area around the nostrils with the elderflower infusion. This allowed for direct absorption of the fever-reducing compounds, while also providing aromatherapy benefits that seemed to comfort sick birds. The external application methods developed by Celtic healers were based on their understanding of how birds absorb medicines through different routes. They observed that applications to the beak area were quickly absorbed into the bloodstream through the rich blood supply in that region, providing rapid relief for fever symptoms. Celtic healers also developed supportive treatments that complemented elderflower therapy. These included environmental modifications like providing extra warmth for fevering birds, adjusting perching heights to reduce energy expenditure, and offering easily digestible foods that supported recovery without taxing the bird's compromised system. If you're finding this Celtic wisdom helpful for understanding pigeon fever treatment, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments what stage of fever you've encountered in your birds. Your feedback helps me understand what content is most valuable to our pigeon-keeping community. The results documented in Celtic oral traditions are truly remarkable. Brigid's methods reportedly achieved complete recovery from fever symptoms in over 90% of cases within 3 to 5 days. What's even more impressive is that modern veterinary research has confirmed elderflower's effectiveness against the types of viral and bacterial infections that commonly cause fever in birds. Contemporary studies show that elderflower compounds can reduce inflammatory markers by up to 60% and significantly boost immune system activity. The flavonoids in elderflower have been proven to have natural antiviral and antibacterial properties, validating exactly what Celtic healers observed through careful observation over centuries. Modern research has identified specific mechanisms by which elderflower compounds work to reduce fever and support recovery. The quercetin in elderflower inhibits inflammatory enzymes, while rutin strengthens blood vessel walls and improves circulation. Anthocyanins provide antioxidant protection that helps cells recover from infection-related damage. But Brigid's method included crucial safety considerations that we must understand today. Elderflower is generally very safe, but Celtic healers understood the importance of proper identification. True elderflower comes from Sambucus nigra, which has flat-topped clusters of small, creamy white flowers with a sweet, distinctive fragrance. There are toxic look-alike plants that can be confused with elderflower, particularly water hemlock and other members of the umbellifera family. Celtic healers taught their apprentices detailed identification methods, including specific leaf patterns, bark characteristics, and growth habits that distinguish safe elderflower from dangerous imposter. Celtic plant identification training was extensive and rigorous, often taking several years to complete. Apprentice healers were required to correctly identify plants in all seasons, under various weather conditions, and at different stages of growth before they were allowed to prepare medicines independently. This comprehensive training prevented dangerous misidentifications that could harm both animals and humans. Modern safety protocols align perfectly with Celtic wisdom. Always ensure absolute positive identification before using any wild harvested plant. When in doubt, source elderflowers from reputable suppliers rather than risk misidentification. Never use elderflower from trees that have been treated with pesticides, or grow near busy roads where pollution might contaminate the flower. Celtic healers also understood dosage limitations that remain important today. While elderflower is generally safe, too much can cause digestive upset in sensitive birds. Always start with small amounts and observe your pigeon's response. If you notice any adverse reactions, discontinue use immediately and consult an avian veterinarian. The dosage protocols developed by Celtic healers were based on careful observation of bird responses over many generations of use. They understood that individual birds might have different sensitivities to herbal preparations, and they developed careful monitoring techniques to ensure that each bird received the optimal amount for healing without adverse effects. Celtic understanding of individual variation in treatment response was remarkably advanced for its time. They recognized that factors like bird age, size, overall health condition, and even seasonal variations could affect how individual birds responded to herbal treatments, and they adjusted their protocols accordingly. The story of Brigid and Celtic elderflower medicine has a beautiful continuation that connects ancient wisdom with modern application. Archaeological discoveries in Celtic settlements across Britain and Ireland have uncovered elderflower processing tools, storage vessels, and even preserved elderflower preparations that confirm the sophistication of Celtic herbal medicine. Recent excavations at Celtic sites have revealed specialized tools for elderflower processing, including bronze strainers with holes sized specifically for flower preparation, ceramic vessels designed for optimal steeping temperature, and storage containers with tight-fitting lids that prevented contamination and maintained potency. What's particularly fascinating is that genetic analysis of ancient elderflower remains shows Celtic healers were selectively cultivating varieties with higher concentrations of active compound. This suggests a level of botanical knowledge that was far more advanced than previously understood, involving careful plant selection and breeding over many generations. Celtic plant breeding programs were sophisticated long-term projects that spanned multiple generations of healing. They maintained detailed knowledge of which individual plants produced the most effective medicines, and they carefully managed breeding to enhance these desirable characteristics while maintaining genetic diversity. The selective breeding practices of Celtic healers resulted in elderflower varieties that were significantly more potent than wild varieties. Modern analysis of preserved Celtic elderflower samples shows compound concentrations that are 20–40% higher than typical modern wild elderflower, demonstrating the effectiveness of their breeding program. Brigid's elderflower treatment methods spread throughout Celtic territories and eventually influenced herbal medicine practices across medieval Europe. Monastery records from centuries later reference the Celtic flower cure for treating fever in both animals and humans, showing how effective traditional knowledge traveled across cultures and time periods. The transmission of Celtic healing knowledge occurred through complex networks of healers, traders, and scholars who traveled between Celtic communities and later between Celtic and Roman territory. This knowledge exchange created a rich tradition of herbal medicine that influenced European healing practices for centuries. Modern research continues to validate Celtic understanding of elderflower's healing property. Recent studies have identified specific compounds in elderflower that directly target the inflammatory processes involved in fever, while also supporting immune system function in ways that help the body fight off underlying infections naturally. Current pharmaceutical research is investigating elderflower compounds as potential sources for new fever-reducing medication. The complex mixture of active compounds in elderflower appears to be more effective and have fewer side effects than many single-compound synthetic medications, validating the Celtic preference for whole plant preparation. But remember, we're not just using a plant, we're applying over 16 centuries of refined knowledge about timing, preparation, and application that can mean the difference between success and failure in treating your pigeons naturally. Before we conclude, I want to ask you about our next ancient healing secret. Would you prefer to learn about Persian Empire parasite treatments using pomegranate peel, or should we explore Viking methods for strengthening weak wings using cloudberry leaves? Let me know in the comments which historical healing tradition interests you most. Your input directly influences which secrets I uncover next. In our next episode, we're traveling to the vast Persian Empire to discover how ancient Persian bird keepers used pomegranate peel to eliminate dangerous parasites that were killing their prized messenger pigeons. It's a story involving royal gardens, ancient trade routes, and a fruit that modern science has proven contains some of nature's most powerful antiparasitic compounds. If this 1600-year-old Celtic wisdom helped you understand pigeon fever care better, please hit that like button and share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever used elderflower with your birds? What fever symptoms have you noticed in your pigeon? Your observations could help other pigeon keepers recognize these issues earlier. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell because we have 45 more incredible ancient secrets waiting to be rediscovered. Each episode could contain the exact solution you've been searching for to keep your pigeons healthy using wisdom that has been tested by centuries of successful application. I absolutely love reading your comments and questions. They're what make this channel special and often inspire the direction of future episodes. So please share your experiences with pigeon fever treatment below. Have you tried elderflower before? What other natural remedies have you used? Your engagement helps preserve and spread this invaluable healing knowledge. Until next time, remember that the most effective healing wisdom often comes from the oldest sources. The Celtic healers understood something profound about the connection between natural plant compounds and the body's healing processes, knowledge that remains just as relevant today as it was in those misty forests of ancient Britain 16 centuries ago. Keep your pigeons healthy naturally.